Francisco Mayor London Breed's race-based guaranteed income program are facing pushback from conservative groups. They're suing the city, accusing it of racial discrimination with those initiatives. William Lajeunesse live on the West Coast with the details. William.
Controversial, Kaylee, for two reasons. One, people receiving your tax dollars with no requirement they work. And secondly, should they be getting that money based solely on skin color? The lawsuit says San Francisco and California illegally give out millions each year to minorities and trans women based solely on race and gender identity through these three programs. The Black Economic Equity Project hands out $500 a month exclusively to young Black Bay Area residents. The Guaranteed Income Project for trans people, that pays $1,200 a month, provided you are Black, Indigenous, Latino, and transgender. And the Abundant Birth Project gives $1,000 a month solely to pregnant Black and Pacific Islander women.
Each of these three programs qualifies and disqualifies individuals from participation and benefits based on their race. That's what they do.
The Birth Project defends the aid, saying Black and Pacific Islander women have higher rates of premature birth.
This risk is primarily due to racism, both structural racism and the racism that birthing people and mothers experience when they are interacting with physicians and other medical providers.
Still, critics say it's illegal to exclude white and Latino women, especially those with higher risk of complication. Now, Mayor London Breed supports all three programs, though none require work. Example, the $1,200 stipend will be provided to participants so they may focus on their basic physical and mental health and wellness without worrying about income, according to Gift. So all three programs, Kaylee, declined interviews. The mayor's office says the programs are legal, and they look forward to going to court.
Hey there, patrons. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The clip I just showed you is about good old California, San Francisco, and their ass backward ways. Now, before I continue, I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers and all my subscribers on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Pass the channel around. If you want to help support the channel, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal, and to my merch store, TrueOutlawPatriot.com, and get your patriotic t-shirts and wear them with pride. Also, I want to apologize. Going through a bad sinus spell, so if I sound a little different, it's not my fault. Mother Nature got me in the past 2 days, and I'm just dealing with it. So, with that being said, I'm going to go back a little bit, and I'm going to play what this lady said, just so we can hear. I think it's totally disgusting, in my opinion, what this woman said, her right here, okay? And I want everybody to just listen and pay attention one more time to what she says, okay? Here we go. Sorry, I got the volume low.
Each of these three programs qualifies and disqualifies individuals.
Now I want you to listen, not to him, to the next woman.
Based on their race. That's what they do.
The Birth Project defends the aid, saying Black and Pacific Islander women have higher rates of premature birth.
Okay, we're going to listen to what this woman has to say here. First of all, the whole thing about Black women and Pacific Islander women having premature birth, I really don't know where people like this just find these damn statistics, okay? Being Native American and Latino, born and raised in the Bronx, it used to be, growing up as a kid, that they would say that Black people and Latinos were breeding like there was no tomorrow, okay? Now the whole narrative has changed with the left, okay? Saying that, we got to give out all these special incentives and stuff like that because, it's so hard for people of color, to have a child. So we just need to help them and coddle them and give them more money. Now, here's the thing. I always believe that if you don't take care of your body, especially women have to take care of their bodies probably a lot more than men. That's a given. We all know this, okay? But I've never really met a woman who didn't try hard enough to take care of her body. They're always trying to take care of their bodies. Okay? Be it exercise or not exercise, be it eating right or not eating right, either way, women will always try to take care of themselves because that's how they're taught since the time they're born. Okay? They go through a lot of complications, granted. But to find reasons to just waste money, laws like this could only be possible in San Francisco. Okay? Now, I know my title may throw you off a little bit. I'm going to get to what my title is saying, but we need to go through what this is right here. Okay? And it says, and just by listening to what it says right here, reading what it says, the San Francisco sued over race and gender-based income programs. Now, I understand if you just want to focus solely on women, to say, women are having a hard time. They're having a lot of premature births. We have to do something so they have better health care coverage so we can find out what's going on. Maybe do some more studies. Definitely give them something better, as far a better program for, to have good meals and all that. I understand that. I can respect that. But what the hell does the gender-based income programs have to do? Nothing, other than the fact that they're coddling people that are confused on whether they're a guy or a girl. I don't see how giving them money helps them, and I don't see how you should be giving them money. That's nobody's problem. They made the choice, okay, to live that lifestyle. I don't see why you have to give them money. Okay? Some people may say, it's because it's hard for them to find a job. I find it hard to believe in a city like San Francisco that any gay person has a hard time finding a job. I highly doubt that. But leave it up to the left and morons like this woman to go and spin things around and just put the guilt trip on everybody and then take, just X amount of dollars and do stupid shit with it. Meanwhile, you have high crime in California, homelessness, drugs, and illegal immigration. And that's just 4 things right off the bat. And all you could do is worry about giving transgender people money. But listen to what she says, how she describes people. And this is one of many of the problems that America has, and how it's the left that is confusing everyone and feeding garbage into people's heads. Listen to what she says.
This risk is primarily due to racism.
This risk is primarily due to racism. I'd like to know how anything they just said is due to racism. How is premature births due to racism? Okay? Listen to the psychotic train of thought. Just in that sentence alone. This risk is primarily due to racism. Let's continue.
Both structural racism and the racism that birthing...
Both structural racism and the racism that birthing people... Listen to what she's saying. Birthing people. You mean women? Okay? Both structural racism and the racism that birthing people and
mothers experience when they're interacting with physicians and other...
When they're interacting with physicians and other medical... Let's see what she says. Medical providers. How in the world is any of this structured around racism? First of all, I'll play it one more time. She says, both structural racism and the racism that birthing people. But then she says birthing people and mothers.
Birthing people and mothers experience...
And mothers. Hold on a second. She's talking about racism. Who's being prejudiced here? By her saying birthing people and mothers. There's only one kind of person that can have a child. And that's a woman. So right there in itself, they're the ones implementing this separation, this division, trying to say that birthing people, what do you mean, women that are trying to be men? Okay? And mothers, and yes, she wants to throw the word around racism. What racism are you talking about? What prejudice practices are you talking about? Because to be a racist is to implement division, okay? That's one of the things. So the way she's expressing herself, the way she sees it, she's sowing division herself. Because she has to use the terms birthing persons and mothers. This is coming from a woman, a black woman. Okay? Who is trying to say that other women who think they're men are considered birthing persons. No, that is still a woman. Plain and simple. There's nobody out there being a racist against a pregnant woman. And you know what? And maybe there is. I mean, if you're a racist, you're a racist. You know, there's certain people you don't like. I get it. Certain races you don't like. But how does premature births and women having problems, complications, because they're pregnant, is based on racism? You know, I'm telling you, these leftists are so damn screwed in the head. It's no wonder why we have a how can I say? America is experiencing something that, you know what? I mean, I don't think 30 years ago anybody would have seen this crazy ass shit taking place in this day and age. I really don't. I don't think anybody could have expected such a psychotic train of thought in America that just keeps getting fed every single day by cycles like this woman and whoever is for this. But let's continue.
When they're interacting with physicians and other medical providers.
Still, critics say it's illegal to exclude white and Latino women, especially those with higher risk of complication. Now, Mayor London Breed supports all three programs, though none require work. Example, the $1,200 stipend will be provided to participants so they may focus on their basic physical and mental health and wellness without worrying about income, according to GIFT. So all three programs, Kaylee, declined interviews. The mayor's office says the programs are legal. They look forward to.
Okay, there's only 3 seconds left. Of course they're going to decline the interview because you know what? It's all based on bullshit. They'll come up with some statistics that, oh, this is the way it is, this isn't that. You know, I find it so ironic that only in the blue states and blue cities do they have these kind of problems and make it seem as if it's all scientific fact. Okay? Because to tell you the truth, I mean, I have to admit, okay, in the past 10, 15 years, every girl that I've met that has gotten pregnant, every guy that I know that's gotten their girlfriend or their wife or their fiancé pregnant, they haven't had no problems. That I had not one premature birth, not one stillbirth, maybe some weight complications, but that's usually normal. Okay? I think one of my friends, the baby came out a little blue, but that usually happens and they had to stay in the hospital just a little longer so they could put the baby under a light. But none of this crazy shit that all these people in California and in New York that they say that this is so vital because this is what's happening. You know, first, and this is nothing which I don't understand. They're all for abortion. Okay? But yeah, and then they all come out and say, well, you know, we have a problem. You know, people aren't giving, you know, having families in America, so we got to bring in more illegals because we need them. But yet they're putting out laws like this in California saying we got to give more money to all these women that are supposedly getting pregnant, but they're having complications. You know, maybe it has nothing to do with racism. Maybe it has something to do with one of two things. Number one, maybe a lot of these women are not taking care of themselves. That's a possibility. No offense towards the women, I'm just saying. or maybe two, it's all bullshit. And it's just a way to take money and pander to a bunch of people just for the vote. You know, if I know that some of my subscribers are from California and they don't think like this. And all I can say is this: get out of California, because California is lost, man. Okay? I mean, it just blows my mind. And if you think this little story I just showed you, this clip, is something, wait till you listen to this article that I'm going to show you, because it'll just definitely, like, blow your mind. Here we go. Okay, now this read is only about a minute or two long. Okay, it's by by State of the Union. Okay, and the person that wrote the story is Claire O'Hare. San Francisco prepares apology to black residents. Okay, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors is set to vote on offering a formal apology to the city's black residents for decades of racist policies and laws that perpetrated harms. While this would be a first step, advocates say true atonement requires concrete actions and investments in black communities, not just symbolic gestures. An apology from this city is very concrete and is not just symbolic, as admitting fault is a major step in making amends, Supervisor Shaman Walton said. San Francisco has considered various reparations recommendations, including cash payments and guaranteed income, but taken no action so far. Supporters argue an apology alone does little to remedy disparities like wealth gaps and health issues facing black residents today. That's why reparations is important in healthcare, San Francisco city employee Cheryl Thornton said. And it's just because of the lack of healthy food, the lack of access to medical care, and the lack of access to quality education. Now I'm going to stop it right there before I finish it. First of all, I don't know where exactly in San Francisco or in California these people live, where they come out and said it's because of a lack of healthy food. If you can't get your ass up and go find something good to eat, I don't see how anybody should get an apology for that. Okay? I'm just being realistic here. Okay? The lack of access to medical care? Yeah, I can agree with that, but not just to black people. I'd say to every natural-born American first, because to tell you the truth, you have an argument there. You got my vote on that, but that's also because, you know what? The people in charge of in California and that's in the White House right now in all the blue states, they're giving illegal immigrants way more medical care than Americans. So whose fault is that? Okay, and then it says, and the lack of access to quality education. Well, you know, I mean, you can have quality education if the Board of Education wasn't run by the leftist government and they were trying to teach kids, I don't know, shit like how to be gay, I don't know, equity, inclusion, and all this other bullshit, how racist America still is. You know, you're teaching the kids garbage, so don't even, how are you even going to say that they have a lack of access to quality education? Okay? I mean, it's just mind-boggling the way these people do things, and then they turn it on its ear and make it seem like, you know what? We owe them an apology. We're going to get to that apology in a minute, but let me finish reading this. It says, other cities and states have apologized for discrimination, but stopping there is insufficient. Reparations Task Force and legislation aim to pair apologies with policy changes and financial redress. An apology is just cotton candy rhetoric. Said the Reverend Amos C. Brown. What we need is concrete actions. Okay, and that's the end of the article right there. But now I'm going to put my 2 cents in it, because you know what? This is America, and I can pretty much say what the hell I want. Okay? Let's get one thing straight. The only people in this country that deserve an apology and reparations are the Native American. Okay? Plain and simple. I'm not talking about the people that came here from Europe and from Africa and then made it with a Native American. No, I'm talking the original Native Americans. The Native Americans, the Cherokee, the Pawnee, the Navajo, the Cree Indian, the Blackfoot Indian, the Mohican Indian, those people. Not black people that came in from Africa and made it. Not Irish people that came in from Ireland and made it. No, not them. I'm talking about the originals. Let's just start there. With that being said, okay, that's number one. And I have no offense towards anybody, because anybody that knows me knows I am not a racist. But I am so sick and tired of everybody pandering to the black community as if the black community cannot raise themselves up and do better. If you leftists will stop freaking holding them down, because case in point, look at what they're doing, and with the article I showed you before, I mean the news clip that I showed you before, once again, making it seem like you have to do all this and forget about everybody else. Okay? So you're talking about that they deserve an apology. Okay. What about all the black on black crime victims in Chicago? Who do they deserve an apology from? What about all the black pimps that went out there and kidnapped girls, didn't matter what race, what color, and put them through a life of sex trafficking? Who gets an apology there? What about, I don't know, all the gang members, all the black gang members in California, you know, the Bloods and the Crips that are killing each other? They deserve an apology too? I'm just, you know, do they deserve an apology? Do the innocent victims that they killed in drive-bys, do they deserve an apology? What about all the crime that black people have committed on other black people, on white people, on Asian people, on Spanish people? Who deserves an apology there? I'm being straight up serious, people, because I am just so freaking fed up with this bullshit. It's disgusting for this to keep on going on the way it is. But yet you had two guys yesterday in my last video that I showed you writing a book, okay, about white rage. Really? About white rural rage. And then the other article, how they're vilifying, okay, Hispanic Christians. No, you know what the apology that America needs is from this whole leftist agenda. Whoever's involved, don't even apologize. Why don't you just pack your shit and leave this country? Because you people are the ones sowing division. Okay? You're the ones sowing division. With all this rhetoric about all that, you know, we got to go give birthing people and women. No, it's the same thing. A woman is a woman. A man cannot have a child. Get it through your damn thick skulls. Okay? And if there's a problem with women having babies, why must it just be marginalized to just, like they were saying, black, Latino, indigenous, and island? No. How about just women in general? Because a complicated birth is a complicated birth. You know, if you would have told me 60, 70, 80, 100 years ago that this was a problem, you probably had a better argument by saying that. But in this day and age, if there's a problem, it's not because of lack of health care, in my opinion. That might be some of the problem. But look at the way people are living their lives this year. Well, I shouldn't say this year, in this time. Okay? People, especially a lot of young people, they are not taking care of themselves. They're the ones that rather go to McDonald's and eat in McDonald's. They don't know anything about cooking at home. They don't know anything about staying home, number one. Never mind cooking at home. Okay? Everything is all about hanging out, doing whatever you want sexually, partying, vaping. I mean, all these things. Now listen, if you want to do certain things like this, fine. But you should not give up on taking care of yourself at the same time. I'm a smoker, but I take care of myself. Okay? I'm not knocking anybody for having a vice. But who am I if I go to the doctor, and I pray to God not, and they say I have lung cancer, who am I to demand anything from anybody? I didn't take care of myself if it came up to that. So neither do I deserve help or an apology. But this is what the left likes to do. And this is why San Francisco is so messed up, and they have so many screwed up people out there, and so many people that will not let go of power This is why I said San Francisco's lost. Okay? I've met people from California here. I almost said the States, because I look at California and it's almost like it's another country, but I digress on that. And like I said, no offense towards anybody, because I do have subscribers from California. They know where I stand. But I've had people tell me that San Francisco used to be a beautiful place. Now they're saying it's just a shithole, man. You know? I mean, it's just like there's another video I'm gonna do about Philadelphia, about some laws that were passed, and of course, Fetterman and Chuck Schumer had something to do with it. But I'll get to that. But it's like, look what's happening in Philadelphia, with Kensington Road or Avenue, with all the drugs. It's a zombie land. Whose fault is that? Do they deserve an apology? You know, it blows my mind. Like I said, the psychotic train of thought of these people that are in control. Okay? Black people don't deserve an apology any more than anybody else who thinks they do, because you know what? Every race on this planet at one time or another has been a victim. And people are still victims to this day. To come out in this country and say that only one race deserves an apology and reparations, and it's not even the natural race to this country? No, sorry. That's not how it goes. That's just not how it goes. Now you want to get down and say, you know what? Okay, my ancestors came here afterwards, and we intermingled, and you know, our families grew by joining Native American tribes, and we want to do our part in order to, you know, to keep spreading the word. That's one thing. But to come out and say over them, well, you know what? My family, you know, made it with Native Americans, but as a black man or a black woman, I deserve reparations and an apology. No, you don't. You want an apology? Go back to the ones that sold you. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth, because there's another thing I've noticed. They keep pushing about all this systemic white racism in America, okay? And it's like, have you really done your history to find out what was going on in Africa when they were selling slaves? But you see, the left, they won't show that, because all they want is to confuse people's minds. All they want is for you to keep feeling like a victim. But yet the whole time pushing for critical race theory, talking about, well, we got to push out the truth. Yeah, but at the same time, you're still not pushing out the truth. You're lying over the truth, and you're coming up with something else that's not the truth. You're trying to make that the truth, and the truth, you're trying to say it's a lie. And you're not even trying to say it's a lie. You're not even bringing it up for anybody to make up their own decision on it. Okay? And one more thing before I shut this down. There's a few things in society that I cannot stand. And one thing I cannot stand, okay, is a race hustling, race baiting person who says that they are a man of the cloth. And this man right here, an apology is just cotton candy rhetoric, said the Reverend Amos C. Brown. What we need is concrete actions. You know, for a man of God, even, let's just say that he is a reverend, because we all know Al Sharpton's not a reverend, and how he got that damn title, I have no idea. But that's another thing I can't stand, because not only are you feeding into this rhetoric as a man of God, you're perpetrating division and lies. So you need to check yourself, Reverend, because you're not helping anybody, and you're definitely not helping your own. If you think by pushing for something like this because you think you deserve it, first of all, you're a reverend. Aren't you supposed to forgive? Huh? Forgive and forget, lead the masses? I guess he didn't get that memo. I don't know. I just guess he didn't get it. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And once again, people, like I said, anybody that's on my channel, they're on my channel for a reason. I'm no racist. My family is mixed all around. There's one thing, it's just that I cannot stand this leftist rhetoric and agenda that it's more and more and more every single damn day. Okay? This is why I got to keep exposing stuff like this. And there's a lot more. Trust me when I tell you. A lot more. I mean, if you just look at the top of my screen, I already got, one article here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 articles that I need to put together, because this is non-stop. It is non-stop. So hopefully you'll come back to check out more. And also, if you want to help support the channel, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal, and to my merch store, TrueOutlawPatriot.com. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.